Hello, blog world. This is Ameer again, obviously, coming to you to give you another video blog in reference to my acting fundamentals class that I was taking. Um, During the last class, we were doing Meisner activities, in which someone brings in an activity, and then we began with the knock. So what happens is you're doing your activity, which is hard but doable, has certain time specific, um, has to have time specific circumstances, um, and you're doing the activity, and then someone comes in, and someone that you didn't plan on coming appears, and you have to just respond truthfully, and you have to have a clear perspective and be able to gauge, perspective, and you're supposed to just, in a sense, repeat what they're doing, and they're supposed to give you an obstacle in a sense, and you're supposed to be able to overcome the obstacle. So when we did Meisner today, and I'm going to start off by saying I don't understand Meisner yet. I'm reading the Esper book on it, and I'm trying to get the purpose of doing a Meisner activity. So when I see this, I'm going to be a little bit biased in the sense that I don't necessarily see its point, but I'm still open to it. So that's why I'm reading the Esper book, trying to get it down. I haven't really had a good chance to really read it because I'm doing, there's stage managing the show and school and all that jazz. So just these are just a few things. It's not going to be a long blog, but just a few things that I noticed during the activities that, in a sense, weakened. Not weakened, but it just posed problems that I saw from Meisner. First, off the Meisner is not supposed to be. You're not supposed to make sense of it. Humans have the tendency to want to make sense of everything, and so like when you're talking back and forth in the repetition portion of the exercise, it seems like people are getting caught up in a story, and when you do that, you kind of lose the essence of what you're supposed to do. It's not supposed to become a story, and I just felt like every single event, well, some of them, not every single one. I'll take it back. Some activities seem like they were just becoming stories, and that's not what, I don't think that's the point of it. And because they became stories, I posed a question to myself that I was going to ask on there. I felt like the tasks became more improv than Meisner, and I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but it just seemed like, because everybody's creating a story and it was supposed to be an impromptu story, it seemed like it was more like an improv session than an actual Meisner class. And what that led me to is to ask whether or not doing Meisner with a class that's not necessarily like a group of actors, but just introducing to them is. I understand what Lewis is trying to do and just introduce you to so many different things. Lewis is the professor. Introduce you to so many different things, and in hopes of you, just so you have a taste of everything. It's like getting an appetizer sampler, and so he's doing the Meisner thing. But the thing is it too advanced for this class? Is what he's trying to do a little bit too advanced for a class like this? Because everybody, after a while, not everybody, but there were just things that they just were not taking into account. Um, like, for instance, there was a sense that some people lost the sense of urgency with their task. Like, for instance, they as soon as the other person came in, that obstacle, they could not overcome it. They weren't trying to get their task done. Um, People were saying certain things and they just weren't being affected by it. They weren't responding truthfully, I felt, or they weren't responding with clear perspective. And the biggest thing is the class in general, not specifically pointing out, we lost a sense of time, and that's a really big issue, because time goes hand in hand with urgency, which goes hand in hand with perspective and circumstance, and without circumstance, it's not going to be specific. And I felt like the class lost that, but there were some good moments. There were definitely some truthful responses. Um, I was just watching both partners, and there were definitely some truthful responses. It was just a sense of whether or not they're losing the essence of what the task was at hand and the overall homework assignment. So that's what I think about it. I mean, I'm definitely going to continue to read the Bill Esper book on Meisner, or on his technique, which is um, kind of like Meisner. So there you go. That's what I feel. Um, I'll see you next time. Peace.